Hey guys, I wanted to take a minute to talk about the guitar that I used in this video. It's made by BlacKat Guitars, which is a small custom shop out of Poland. They contacted me a while back asking if I would be interested in checking out and reviewing their Merrow 7-string guitar and share my thoughts about it with you guys. So here we are. BlacKat makes a lot of custom guitars and they have a lot of custom options, but this guitar here is kind of like their base model. They do give you a few options when you order one of these, so it's sort of like a semi-custom guitar. So I got to go through the process just like any other customer would. You know, I got to pick out certain specs, you know, colors, wood choices, pickups, things like that, scale length. So a couple months later, they delivered this, and it's pretty cool. So the woods on this guitar, it's got an ash body, really nice figured ash body on it. Maple and mahogany multi-ply neck, and a maple fretboard. For hardware, it's got mostly all Hipshot hardware. The tuners on it are Hipshot locking tuners. They work really well. They have like a nice look to them too. They have the exposed gears. They're real smooth, really accurate, and of course they keep it in tune very well. It's got a Hipshot bridge, which is my personal favorite bridge, and this is the low profile one, not the taller version, so the strings are really close to the body, which is pretty cool. The electronics in this guitar, starting with the pickups, we have the new Seymour Duncan Sentient neck pickup, which is really cool. It's kind of like a cross between a Jazz and a 59 pickup, if you're familiar with either of those. It's kind of more of a lower output PAF type sound. It's really awesome for cleans or solos under high gain, things like that. And then in the bridge, we have the new Seymour Duncan Nazgul pickup. And if any of you guys have been watching my pickup demos, you'll know that this is a pretty aggressive sounding pickup. It's high output, but at the same time it's really articulate, and it's got a really nice focus on the mid-range section. So it's, at the moment, it's my personal favorite pickup. It's really tight. I'd give you some good examples, but I have severe tendonitis right now and my hand's kind of broken, but we'll try it anyway. So you get the point. The selector switch is a three-way switch, you know, bridge, middle, and neck. But in the middle position, it splits the outside coils, so you have kind of like that split parallel sound in the middle position, which is kind of cool. It gives you another tonal option there in the middle position. Single volume knob and a tone knob. The cavity is all shielded with copper tape. High quality pots. The wiring was done really nicely. I'm kind of a nerd, so I opened it up and looked, but nice job on that for sure. This model's got a bolt-on neck. It's got 24 nickel frets. The access is pretty good on it. You can get all the way up there. It's got a nice contoured heel. I decided not to have any inlay on it, and it's just got the fret markers on the side, which is all you really need, I guess. The scale length I went with on this one was 27.1 inches. You can get it in 25.5 or somewhere in that neighborhood, I believe, but I decided to go with the extended scale. I think it gives the low notes a lot of clarity, and it's good for low tunings and things like that. Maybe not so much for solo players, you know, because bends and things like that aren't quite as easy due to the increased string tension. And also, you know, if you like to do a lot of bendy stuff, you know, you're bending a little bit further to get up to that target note. So it's good to have, you know, both options. So they do have a shorter scale for, you know, people who like to play solos or don't like all that string tension. But they also have the option of the longer scale, which is cool. The overall construction of the guitar seems really good. I didn't see any noticeable flaws on it. The finish is great. It's I had them do it in like a cool orange color because I had a guitar a long time ago that had this color scheme, and I really liked it and I missed it, so I decided to go with this. The fretwork on it, I'd say, is decent. Probably not the best fret job I've ever seen, but it's definitely not the worst. I think the sound of the guitar is pretty monstrous. It's bright and snappy. It doesn't have a ton of lows to it, which is kind of good, I think, because, you know, when you're tuned that low, you don't really want all those low frequencies in there too much anyway. I'd say it's more focused on the mid-range section, and definitely it's bright. It's a really bright guitar, but that's cool. I like bright guitars. So for a guitar like this one, or one with similar specs, if you lived in the USA, you'd be looking at about $1,500 delivered to your door, which includes a nice hard shell case. I don't think it's too unreasonable, really, considering what you get, and it is a semi-custom, so, you know, within a certain range of options, you're able to kind of pick and narrow down what it is that you want. So as long as those options are exactly what you're looking for, you can kind of consider it to be a custom guitar, because you get to pick your color, you get to pick your woods, your scale length, pickups, things like that. So I personally think it's a pretty cool guitar. There's a couple things about it that I would probably prefer to be a little bit different, but that just comes down to personal preference. And one of those things being the neck on it. It's a fairly wide D-shaped neck, so it's a lot thicker than I'm used to. I like really thin C-shaped necks. It's not necessarily bad or anything. It's definitely comfortable, and it's not the kind of thickness that hinders your playing or anything like that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys have played on the awkwardly thick neck and you're just like, man, this thing feels like shit, you know? But this isn't like that. It's just, it's shaped a little bit differently than I'm used to, and it's a little bit thicker than I'm used to. But it is comfortable. You know, after playing on it for a little while, it was definitely comfortable, and it wasn't the kind of thing that, you know, turned me off to the guitar or anything like that. The other thing is the fret wires on it. On this particular guitar, it's got small frets. Maybe they're more medium. It's hard to say for sure, but they're pretty short, you know. And I typically like jumbo frets, you know, really big fat frets. And this one just has pretty tiny frets on it. Which again, that's just a preference thing. You know, it doesn't really affect the sound of the guitar a whole lot, or really the playability of it. It's just more of a preference, you know. I guess all the newer BlacKat guitars will come with bigger frets though, so I guess this was really like kind of a one-off thing, where it for some reason has smaller nickel frets on it, but I guess the newer ones won't. So they'll have big frets, and that's all good. I'm just talking about this particular guitar. So if you dig this thing, which I do, go check out the links in the video description, and you can find out more about BlacKat guitars, and check out some of the custom guitars they have too. They make some really high-end stuff as well. This is, like I said, more of their entry-level semi-custom guitar, but he does some pretty impressive full customs too, so go check him out.